Three, two, one. Yo, what's goody? My name is Chezza.
Green Fabian.
I'm Mr. Stephen S.
And this is the Casual Fan, where we like to talk about wrestling and Marvel shit, but there's too much Marvel shit to condense
Too
in with our
much.
wrestling shit.
I did not watch WandaVision. I was talking to my boy, and I was just like, he's like, yo, you're going to watch a couple episodes and be like so angry that you have to wait. So he goes,
Yo,
you've
people
already
are so
outwaited-
privileged nowadays.
You
People
know?
are so privileged. Talk
You
about I gotta
know?
wait.
I'll wait a couple of episodes so I can just watch, about 5-6 episodes straight. So I don't have to be
Oh,
worried about what's going to happen.
Honestly,
do you not remember the enjoyment of having to wait a week, having a week to talk about it and try to figure out what's going on instead of just
Nah,
binging
bro, you wanna see
everything
me get
once
frustrated?
and then you forget
It's-
what happens in the second episode?
it's actually
No,
it's
you want to see me?
it's actually bad advice to do it that way because you're dealing with different settings. So you might as well digest them one at a time.
Bro, I can't do. I need to know what's happening next, and then I need to be able to go to Washington, come back, and find out what's happening next. I can't find out what's happening next week.
Privilege,
First
man.
let me turn off
Privilege.
Privilege.
I'm sorry. I'm
Said,
sorry. Yes.
Don't give me a
what?
TV show if I can't binge it.
I need to binge it. Dog.
Yeah, they gave you 2 episodes. They give you more than 1. They give you 2.
No, that's not. They should have given me 5.
Nah, B. That's too much. That's half the show. That's half the season.
Then
With
give
the
me half the
exception-
season. Give me the full season. Let me just binge watch it once and for all.
With the exception of DVDs, binging is like the newest thing. It's not even. It barely happened.
No, I'm telling you, because sometimes I feel the same way. You'd be like, oh, really? I gotta wait a week. Like I'm watching American Gods, and I'm like, come on, American Gods, you can just drop that. Let me binge that. But
Isn't it season?
I will give Marvel the pass. I'll give Marvel the pass.
Isn't the second season of Gods of that over?
What, third season just started?
Oh, third season just started. Yeah.
Yeah, two episodes in, so I guess you're gonna have to wait. But I can tell you all about it. All about it.
Kind of read the book.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's nothing like the book.
From what I see,
Joking. That's The Boys. The Boys is nothing like the book.
The Boys nothing like the book.
The Boys, like, it starts off like it's similar to the book. Like it's still same premise and everything, but storyline, people are changed, storylines are changed. Whole bunch of stuff.
I can't wait for that to start back up.
Yeah, that's starting back up. Black Lightning starting back up next month. It's a good time, man. It's a good time for shows.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna do that at another time. I'm not sure exactly which day that will drop, but yes, it's another show, a second
What's
show.
another show? WandaVision?
No, the Marvel, because Marvel is dropping something every week. Every week there's something Marvel dropping. If not an episode,
for the next
a
6
movie.
months.
I thought it was for the rest of the year.
So what's dropping this week then?
Like every like yeah, for I believe for like the year. WandaVision?
Wasn't WandaVision last week?
No, man, every week.
Every week.
You're talking
Every
about
week
you're
until
upset every week until
March.
Oh, okay. No,
yeah,
when
8
you
episodes. So
when
all
you
the way
said
through
Marvel was
March.
dropping
Yeah, to
something,
March.
I thought they were like dropping something. When you said that, I took it as they're dropping something different every week. So, what like last week was WandaVision, and next week would be something else.
No. So WandaVision,
No, they're doing
8 episodes. So 8
yeah,
weeks.
and then 8 or 9.
8 or 9. If it's 9 episodes, then 9 weeks. Then that 10th week is gonna be something else, either starting or a movie.
Yeah, things starting next after this. Winter Soldier.
Right away. Oh yeah. We went.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is next, and then Loki is after that.
Yeah, and then it goes to Black Widow, right?
Black Widow, and then Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Is a month after that. So, but that's all that I could remember up until that point. That's why I said 6 months. I know for sure.
Do you think within this time frame, because when Black Widow was supposed to come out until now, do you think they added anything to it?
Probably not.
Or they just held on to what they were supposed to give us and just gonna hold it off and show it to us later?
We were supposed to get the Eternals trailer.
Yeah, Eternals as well. Eternals and Black Widow were supposed to get early. I don't think they're gonna change any of those movies. I
No,
don't
you're
think they're
gonna
gonna
get-
add anything new to it. I think they're just dropping at different times now.
You're supposed to get a trailer for the Eternals when
Black Widow dropped.
came out.
But
So
I
they've
mean,
been
like
sitting.
the movie wise, they're not gonna change anything about the movie that they've already done.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
See, I even know what heroes are in Internals.
that's a backstory. Eternals are a backstory. They're like the original man.
I'm new to it too.
They're the original
The
man.
original
so,
what?
Original man. So you know how Thanos is a deviant. So he's part of like the original species that came to Earth, which was Eternals and Deviants. And
You
that
know-
the Deviants all kind of look like Thanos. They're all disfigured. Eternals look like human beings. And they're brought here and put here by Celestials. So just the two like early master races who went up against each other. And pretty much the Eternals are the ones who actually stayed, right? They stayed and grew on the planet. So now it's just, I think to believe it's the whole thing is they don't remember who they are anymore. Like
You know what?
something
Next time
happened,
we
they
have-
forgot.
Next time we have a discussion about Marvel, I'm gonna get Omari to chime in because Mari's like you. He's Marvel. He's been doing this for how long? So he can. Sometimes when I need to know shit, I go to him. What's this
Okay.
mean? What does that mean? So he'd be perfect for this. So next time we have one talk about Marvel, we'll bring him on the chat.
Okay. That's tomorrow. Seriously. But yeah. So yeah, So you will hear this episode, but then please stay tuned because there will be a Marvel review episode, Casual Fan, where we can really talk about the shit because I've been watching those 2 WandaVision episodes and I'm just like fucking my mind up, B. Straight. Like I see the devil in everything now.
There's subtleties to it, man. That
Like,
dinner
I-
scene in the first one.
I'll tell you one thing here. The sword symbol is a double entendre because it's a sword, you know what I mean, like this, but same time, that is
Snake.
the sign of the devil, an upside down
Yeah,
cross,
yeah.
the
When the
Antichrist.
sword is this slow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
That's the upside
Antichrist
down
and all
cross.
that. So it's like all these little things thrown in there. It's nuts.
Yeah.
That's why I told my daughter she wanted to get a tattoo. I told her, don't get no cross on your hand because it depends on how you hold your hand. The cross is upside down,
It's true.
right? So if you get it here and do this, the cross is upside down. You go like this is right side up, but still. So
Unless she has the first aid cross. Then that's just
even that has other symbolism and meaning.
that's just a plus sign. She's always the plus one. Where anybody people's going? Plus one right here. See, plus. It'll work. I'll talk to her. I'll let her know. Get the plus sign. But okay, let's get into the other shit we talk about, which is wrestling. So we had like 2 weeks of like stuff to talk about. So what are some
it's
hits?
WWE, so that's not that much.
What?
Thank you.
Well, you're not even watching AEW?
What? AEW?
You haven't been taking in the whole Kenny Omega and
Nothing.
Impact and Good Brothers coming on and Bullet Club reemerging.
Nah, I'm good. I've had no desire. I accidentally I saw Impact and I was like, oh, Impact's on. And then I was just like, wait, no, that whole
Wait a
nah, I'm
minute.
good.
You're not gonna get me.
Yeah.
So speaking of those wrestling,
Okay.
did you hear what Bully Ray had to say about the difference between AEW and NXT?
Some about like AEW. It's just pretty much like
What we've been-
NXT is just
basically
more
what we've been- what
polished.
we've been
NXT
saying.
just really more polished than everything.
It's basically what we've been saying. Like when you watch, because again, it's a startup company, so majority of the guys are gonna be from independent. They're gonna bring those independent habits over to AEW. So you're gonna it looks like a more independent compared to guys who are in WWE who are getting seasoned to be.
But true
I
say,
don't want to say professional wrestlers, but more of a polished product
yeah.
for television.
But true say, I don't even put it on the AEW wrestlers. There's no one to rein them in. There's no one professional at the top with a vision of what they want to do. It's just a billionaire who says, I got a lot of money and I want to rival WWE. That's it. Like he has no vision of what he wanted to do.
It's like it's like fantasy basketball or fantasy football, but he's doing it with actual money.
Right. And it's like you have to, like you said, we've been saying it. You have to tell a story and you have to stick that story and have the characters within that story. You're not doing that. Like AEW is not a story. Like WWE, you always know in the end, everybody wants that title. Like everybody wants that title because once you're the champion at WWE, the doors start opening for you. You start getting these things. You start getting these options. So there's a reason to be WWE because you become the face of that company. WWE tells you
unless you're Ryback and you don't get to the top, and then you're
Was
Maybe
Sasha
a
Banks
bitter-
was Sasha Banks
super
not
bitter.
in the Mandalorian?
Think about it. And Sasha Banks got that on her own. That wasn't through WWE.
But again, she got
it doesn't,
she got it on her
hurt.
own. But it
Yeah, it
was
doesn't hurt.
WWE because if they didn't, she probably got, well, you can stand in that line and everybody else can stand in that line because she is already a celebrity, international star, basically, right?
The way they found her was her episode of Hot Ones. Trace, the thing, her episode of Hot Ones, they liked her character, they liked who she was, so they're like, boom. But like you said, without WWE, would she have been on Hot Ones? Probably not. So still get in that WWE look, becoming a champion.
Indirectly,
how many times? It does. It does. That's my argument all about when everybody got mad about the whole Twitch shit and all that stuff. Cameo taking their money. I was like, you guys don't make Cameo money unless you're on WWE. So,
it's true. It's true,
anyways.
but at the same time, if you're really working it, and it's something you built yourself, really, I mean, you still have to perform, right?
Yeah.
You still have to actually do it. You still have to build that fan base.
Yeah, I'm with you that because
It's true.
not everybody.
I think the terms. I think it's more. It's not so much so WWE shouldn't have anything. It's just that WWE shouldn't be the one with the upper hand in a situation like that. Get a piece of it, yeah. I get that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I signed a contract.
But
Didn't
controlling
say that
my
I could have it in
terms.
the contract, right? So if WWE is gonna uphold me to my contract, I gotta hold WWE up to their contract. It wasn't in the contract. Didn't say in my contract that I had to sign this over. My name is my name. I'm not
depends.
signing over my name.
Oh, your name. Yeah. A lot of people know that. But if it's the working thing. Like if you're out there and it's so like AEW can't use your real name type shit. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like that. Like it's for competition, not to just like Mandalorian use Sasha Banks' real name. Obviously, Mercedes Martinez, I believe they wrote it down. You know what I mean? WWE has nothing against them. But say she shows up in the crowd at AEW. You're not putting her face on the screen. You're not saying Sasha Banks, and you're not saying Mercedes Martinez. So you might as well not put her on your TV.
This would all be so much more black and white if they weren't independent contractors and they were employees.
That goes to it. Slim was saying they signed the contract. Like, you know exactly when you came into wrestling, they're like, you're gonna sign as an independent contractor. It's up to you now.
They were employees.
They know what they're doing.
You don't work for the company,
and it's
but you
not
can't work for
like
any other company.
you can't work for any other company. But WWE does take care of you while you're working. Like if they get hurt, they're the ones footing the bill. They don't make you go foot your bill. The only thing you're paying for is your whole travel, unless you're like Brock fucking Lesnar or Roman Reigns, and they'll take care of that. But then that goes back to being champion. You're champion WWE, you get a lot of advantages.
Apparently, that's not real.
That's what Jericho said. Jericho's like he's never been to. He's like he been wrestling for a long time, and never has WWE ever paid for any of his hotels.
No, they don't. If I'm paying you like $1 million, well, it all depends. You know what I mean? That should be a business expense. And
Exactly.
truly
It's
for
given
them as well, if they're doing their paperwork right, all that is business expenses. If they're not doing their paperwork right, that's coming out of their pocket.
Yeah,
you
but
should be.
well, they're not getting that to the end of the year. You want that money now. You don't want that money end of the year. You can't say,
Listen,
okay, well, guess what
if
I
I'm
just did? I
getting
just paid for hotel, and hey, can I get my money within a week? No, you gotta wait a full freaking calendar year to get back that money that you just paid in towards.
their bank account should be way different than our bank accounts right now. You know what I mean? Where when I'm like, I feel that if they're making at least 100,000 a year, I think I can wait. I think I can
Bro,
wait at the end of the year to get a kickback. You know what I mean?
How
here's the
many
thing,
people?
though.
How many people seen six figures?
But no, but here's no, but
A
no,
lot
but
of
here's
them.
the thing.
A lot of them.
No,
I said
no,
100,000. Like a lot of them are seeing more than six figures. Well, the
no,
top people are seeing seven figures, and then there's everybody else in between. The
Yeah,
Good
but then at
Brothers
that
signed for, or the Good Brothers signed for was what, 750, and I believe that's the last
A year.
time.
That's
a
a
year,
year.
and that was
A year.
the last big contract. Now it's like
Yeah,
half of that.
But when you're signing $100 million, you got $100 million problems. Right now, we got maybe $2,000 a week problems or $1,500 a week problems. That's what we got.
No,
There's
if
people.
they're paying anyone,
Wait, hold on.
you
There's
can't say
people
100 million.
that make
100 million is too much.
There's people that make less than us, and they look at us saying, "Well, you make that. I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have that problem. I can wait then." No,
Yeah.
you can't. Once you're in a certain tax bracket, you live a certain life. No, you can't wait. I work for a business. I am on a business trip, and I work for a business. Therefore, that business should take care of my business expense because they can write it off.
But that's all about the person and how they save, because there's people that make the same amount of money as us, living life, and it's all about how they save. You know what I mean? So
listen, we all can't live at home with our parents.
I wish.
We all can't live at home with our parents, and our parents doing our laundry, and our parents had a house that they had since I was born, and now I'm still living in that house, so I can afford a car outside, a car somewhere, go on vacation, have a hot girlfriend that is out of my league, but yet I can still have her because I can buy all. No, we can afford that shit. We never had that privilege.
Some people.
Some people,
depending on how you save, you can do that. It's all about how you save. I'm just saying.
I got 4 kids.
I understand, but say you were getting paid. We'll say, okay, base right now, pay I believe they're offering is $300,000. So if you're making $300,000 per year for the next 3 years, you're telling me you wouldn't be able to wait end of the year for your kickback. 300,000 a year. You're telling me that's not enough. You're telling me that's not enough.
Give me my money. You wait.
You're my money now.
You're the multi-billion-dollar company.
But you see what the problem is.
You give me my money. You wait for it. You can wait for that.
That's the private jet. That
they
give you that option.
I got kids. I got kids. You know what you're saying? I got kids. I ain't got time for that shit. Pay me my money.
You sound like a certain WWE superstar.
I got kids.
An ex.
There's a really funny what's his name? Teddy Long, kayfabe commentaries interview where he was talking about how he got brought to Wrestler's Court.
Right.
It was for being cheap. Because he's riding with everybody. But when it was time to pay for gas, he pretended like he's asleep. Or, like just doing a lot of stuff. Owen Hart and
Mick Foley. They
Mick
had the
Foley
competition. Who could be the cheapest? Who could save the most money?
They used to ride with fans to the venue.
Yes, to the next town.
Because these guys were saving their money.
Mick Foley and Owen Hart.
And Owen Hart?
Yeah, man. It's all about how you save your money. Because look at a guy today. Look at a guy today like Jim Cornette. That man is still living nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's all about saving your money. He talks about when Dusty, he said? Dusty Rhodes said he was at the Performance Center. He was looking around and looking at all the talent. He's like, Vince is lucky I didn't save my money. You know what I mean? So that tells you how much money he was running through. All it's about is how you save your money. You save your money right, you're good.
Oh, you
can wait to the end of the year. And the fact is, for a business, you would prefer to get your money at the end of the year. instead of paying out of pocket. Because when you pay out of pocket, you're paying tax on that. But if you're doing it as a business expense, tax comes back to you. So it's better to wait the year anyway. But yeah, talking about business.
Dusty Rhodes. He was you hear his southern you know what kind of woman he was into. You know where that money went.
That's
Them you seen Sapphire's booty. You know where that money went.
just saying, man.
He called her Sapphire. Sapphire ain't cheap.
He learned the hard way. He learned the hard way. But yeah, talking about business. How do you guys feel about the
Hurt Business?
No, there's a partnership. Looks like it's growing right now between the head of the table and Apollo Crews.
And that's all. I'm gonna call him this. That's all Paul E. Dangerously. That's who that is.
Did you guys see the
Paul Heyman? For you people, you young folks, I know who that is.
Did you see the video of Paul Heyman talking to him on what's it? Smack Talk?
Talking Smack?
Talking smack when he was talking to Apollo Crews.
Yep. Yeah.
Broke him down, called him a loser, and then he's like, but you're not a loser. I was like, oh, he's doing it. Well, he did that with Big E. He did that with he did Big E, he did Apollo Crews. And those are the two I remember.
Let me tell you something. Seinfeld was not a hit off the bat. They gave him chance after chance. Never have I seen a black man in the WWE get more chances to revamp their career and image than Apollo Crews.
Because if you look at
he
Apollo
has no personality.
He doesn't.
None.
He's working on that, he said.
That's the biggest thing he knows. Like, he knows. He's like, I have the talent. Like, I can do the shit in the ring. Like, that's what I'm saying. I know.
You do that shit in his sleep.
He's like, but now I got to work on the whole personality thing. I got to work on being able to talk, being able to emote and shit like that.
Did you see when he was talking to Triple H and like when he was coming in and Triple H goes, yo, you need to have a different finisher. You need to be that guy. You need to be that guy. And he just came up with a finisher. Just like that. And there's like, and Triple H is like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they see it in him, right?
Yep.
But it's just like, for instance, me, I thought they brought him up too early. I thought he still should have been in NXT for a while, for that time being, just seasoning himself up, win the NXT championship, right? So he knows what it takes to be a champion and what it takes to get to a championship and what it takes to defend the championship. So when he goes up to the next roster, he kind of has a feel. Right now, he was kind of like, even when he had the belt, it was like, bro, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like he was trying to be what he thought a champion looked like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's happy-go-lucky, put up my belt, show everybody, yes, I won, and then happy-go-lucky is not the thing anymore.
I'll say this, though. As bad as he is on the mic, at least he's not Dominic.
There's some things. Dominic is still a work in progress.
He's a big work in progress.
That's why they kind of started taking him off TV again. They're like, okay, we did what we had to do with the whole Seth Rollins storyline. We got you to go up against him. I forget if it was for WrestleMania or whatever it was, but he had a big match. They milked it as much as they could.
He's now one of the most least threatening people I've ever seen.
But they could be working towards the father-son match.
They are. It says supposed to be betrayal between Rey Mysterio. Supposed to betray him.
Something like that. He hinted at it in an interview, talking about Royal Rumble. And they're like, what happens if you and Dominic are 1 and 2? He's like, you don't have to throw him over. He's like, that's just the way it is. Like, that's what this is. This is Royal Rumble. So like, I gotta throw him over. And I'm his father, so I got first dibs.
So like, again, Dominic is another person who would have thrived in NXT.
They can still bring him. They can still put him back down there. Because if you saw him in NXT, would you be like, oh man, he failed? You'd be like, oh, he's where he's supposed to be. Like, oh, okay, he had his run up there, like kind of like Austin Theory. Nobody got mad. Everyone's like, oh, cool, good. He's back in NXT where he should be.
Yeah, because he wasn't ready to come up yet, man.
Yeah, some guys do go up too early.
Is the thing is they have no plan. Like when they have a plan for somebody when they bring him up, cool. But Austin Theory, they had no plan. So he went from what was the one crew? He went from one crew to Seth Rollins. But he was just jumping crew to crew. No, he was early Hurt Business, wasn't he? I believe he was early Hurt Business. It was him, MVP, and Lashley. Something like that. And then they kicked him out. And then Seth Rollins saw him, kind of like the Buddy Murphy thing. Saw him, gave him that pep talk, and then he became one of his, I want to say acolytes, but he really didn't have a name for them. Disciples. And then he went back. He disappeared and went back to NXT.
No, he wasn't there first. He was with the Spanish crew.
Was it the Spanish crew?
Yeah, he was with the Spanish crew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with Zelina Vega. Yes.
He was with the Spanish crew. They brought him up.
What a waste of a good stable.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was, why would you have an all Spanish crew and bring up this dude? And all the freaking the luchador Spanish wrestlers you have, that's who you bring up to pair with the other 3 Spanish. That's like having That's like having all white guys in the group and then bringing the one black. No, it doesn't. Just bring the next white guy and put him in the fucking group, or bring the next like for instance, Hurt Business. Now, if you bring a white guy into the Hurt Business, bro, you're what? No.
But doesn't that go against that argument? Like we always argue.
Would do something like that.
But doesn't it go against the argument that everybody's like, they always put the black guys together. They always put the Spanish guys together. So if they insert a white guy in there, people are like, why are you putting it? It's a black group. Like it kind of goes back and forth. Like
no, well, you already bred us already, right? You already bred us on what it's supposed to be.
They've done it before, and we had no problems with it. Nation Domination when they brought Owen Hart in. Nobody had a problem. It was Nation Domination. Think about it. It was Nation Domination, and Owen Hart joined it, and people were cool with it.
And how much longer after Owen Hart joined the Nation was the Nation around for?
I don't know a timetable.
Oh, yeah. You see what happens? You see what happens when you let them infiltrate? They infiltrate, and then what happens? Poof, we're gone. So yeah, he was. I would say
it was more because of The Rock than Owen Hart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Blame it on the black man.
Don't ask The Rock that. He might tell you he's only Samoan.
He's Samoan.
That's what Ahmed Johnson said. Ahmed Johnson heard him saying, I'm Samoan. I don't even know my dad.
That was one of the best heels. Like, they really just sacrificed Farouk. But
here's the thing. Ron Simmons has so much respect. They have to act because him and Vince are tight, eh?
Yeah.
Him and Vince and Ron Simmons are tight. They basically have to ask him, is it all right we go through with this?
Yeah. But he understood the game. He was like, yeah. He's like,
he built the Nation.
Yes. But that's why the breakup had to go through him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Rock had to get the breakup through him. So he understood it. Changing of the guard, like truthfully, by that time, he's done his time in wrestling. You know what I mean? And even after that, he still had the AOP. Or even before that, he was Undertaker's acolytes, then did AOP. So he still had life. He still had life and popularity. You know what I mean?
And he still goes down in history as the first ever fucking black champion. Like
for real.
Yep. I remember that
history. Like I watched that match. I was sitting there watching Butch Reed go freaking nuts. I'm sitting there going, holy, because I didn't think he was gonna win the title. I don't think it's gonna be Vader. I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Okay. Talking about the Nation, we got 10 minutes left, so we might as well talk about one other member of the Nation. His name is Mark Henry. He's still out here having beef. Not really. He's kind of standing up for himself in his wrestling community versus the biggest, I want to say heel, but he's not a heel. He's just the enemy of wrestling right now, or WWE. He hates WWE with such a passion. His name is the Ryback. Literally, he changed his name by law to Ryback.
The Ryback, so WWE couldn't keep it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why he's in court against WWE. And that's why he keeps trying to tell them, just let it go. It's my name. And they're like, no, we have money to play this. You probably don't. So let's see how.
And they got long money.
They want to see. Let's see how
they got retainer money.
And
but you know what? They're just doing this. But the name is his. I think he did something where it's like the game is S actually because he trademarked it before they did, and then he
It's not that.
changed his name to Ryback.
Yeah, he changed his name, but no, they trademarked it. It's kind of like Ultimate Warrior. He trademarked Warrior after WWE already owned it. But when it's your name, they can't tell you can't use it. If your name is legally has been changed, they can't tell you can't use it anymore. They can try to contest it and say this is the reason why, blah, 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 but it's your name. It's your legal name now. So, but yeah, so he was going in on the belt. Oh, goes right back to the belt again. As we said, the WWE belt looks like it means something.
Belts.
Oh, sorry, the championship. We were saying, it means something, but Ryback says it does not. It means nothing because it's just given to whoever he feels like, whoever Vince likes at the time. And he tried to shit on all that. So then Mark Henry responded like, I don't know why you're sad. It's probably because you've never got to touch that belt. I understand, but please don't try to dismiss what I went through. I've been a champion of 3 sports, and I do consider WWE one of those sports. So pretty much fuck off. Then Ryback came back, started talking more shit. And then, what was the line, Trace? No, Ryback started talking shit, and he said something about they kept going back and forth to a point where Ryback was like, yo, I would love to see Mark so I can bust his ass. And Ryback pretty much said he can beat up Mark Henry. And how did Mark Henry respond to that? Mr. Kareem Fabian.
Your punches taste like candy.
Candy. Then he called him a meathead.
No, I called him a meathead.
No, he called him a meathead.
Oh, okay.
No, musclehead. Sorry, not meathead. Musclehead. You said meathead. He called him a musclehead.
Tear off his skin.
And then he turned around and said, I'm a musclehead too. But I'm a musclehead people like. They don't like you. And so, yeah, he pretty much was saying he could beat up Mark Henry. And, okay, thinking back on just what we just saw on Legends Night with Mark Henry and Randy Orton, I still feel Mark Henry would beat the shit out of him.
Out of who?
Ryback. All he has to do is hold him. Did you ever hear the story about when the Clique was trying to open up a locker? There was something in the locker and they couldn't open it up.
Yeah.
They were using crowbars and a whole bunch of shit to pop this, and they couldn't pop it open. So Mark Henry just diddly-daddling, walking along, and they're like, hey, Mark, can you help us with this locker? We can't open it. Mark walks up to the locker, sticks these fingers in, boom, pops it open, walks away. This is the man you want to fight.
Are we not talking about the time he was in the ring and they gave him that iron skillet to bend, and he bent it, and Vince told him, please, whatever you do, don't ever get mad to anybody in the back. Please, whatever you do, don't get mad. Like, the man bent an iron skillet. Yo, sometimes you can't even open a damn can to the freaking peanuts because you can't pull that shit back.
I'm about to look this up. I'm gonna look this up because I feel like this man pulled a jet before. He pulled a plane before. I swear I saw him do it.
Yes, he did.
He did the there's a this
like 1,000-pound deadlift.
The man.
There's this huge stone. Is that what you're talking about, Slim?
Huh?
Are you talking about that stone or whatever?
The deadlift, you have to grip the stone like this and walk with it.
Oh, the strongman competitions, bruh. When those were heavy on TSN in high school.
I used to watch them.
Do they?
You can find one. You can find one here and there.
Hold on, Magnus or Magus? It's Magnus, right?
It's Magnus.
Yeah. The big,
the guy from Germany, big dude.
That dude was a monster.
Yo, I used to watch
they're pulling like the tow trucks and stuff.
Yeah, tractor trailers,
trailers and stuff.
Flipping tires that were like the size of boats and shit like that. Just flipping it.
And Mark Henry won one of those. Like, come on, B. That's the guy you want to fight.
He was the world's strongest man. He broke a record. He broke a deadlift record.
To fight Mark Henry, you have to fight him from a distance. And I'm sorry. How's your far punches gonna hurt Mark Henry? That meaty, the dude's full of meat. What are you gonna do? Just punch him. He's gonna be like, huh. Like, pretty much, your punches taste like candy. Like, I don't know. I think Ryback's going crazy though. Honestly,
Well, I
I
think
Kinda
like to
like-
see him in an MMA fight.
kind of like Enzo. Like how Enzo kind of just fell off like that, and he was just going crazy. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know. Yeah, I feel like Ryback's in that stage now.
I love to see Enzo come back. It would be so nice to see Enzo come back for Royal Rumble.
I want Enzo to come back. Like he's dope. He could always talk. You know what I mean? And he has no
He's putting-
problem getting ragdolled.
he's putting everybody over if he comes back.
You package Enzo with someone like who's cat? With what's his name? Friggin'
Well, you're gonna kind of like redo the Enzo and Cass.
yeah, but you put him with what's his name? That's gonna be part of the new stable. I can see his freaking big chocolate.
I'd have Jericho's bodyguard turn on Jericho for him. Not Jericho.
Oh yeah,
AJ. Sorry.
I know what you mean. Almost. Yeah, it'd have
I'd
to be.
I'd have him turn
God.
on AJ.
Yeah,
That would be good. That would be good.
And now he's working for like an even bigger weasel.
Like for instance, and you know how they can start it in a way where Enzo gets thrown out the ring, but almost catches him and looks at him. They look at each other, and he just kind of tosses him back onto the ring. And from there, they start up a relationship. And then you can have
as you say that,
and
I just picture a lot of, yo, what up, bro? What's good? Yeah, what up, son? And stop, man. Just because he's black, man. Don't do it.
It's gonna happen.
Don't do it, please.
It's gonna happen.
Yo,
If it happens,
what up, big
it
bro?
will
What up, homie? What up, big homie? Like, oh, why you gotta talk to him like this? Like, just talk to him normal. Like, I can see him pushing extra on that, but that would probably be the best matchup with Enzo. Would be almost because Braun Strowman's Braun Strowman. Who other big guy? Drew McIntyre? No.
Wait, when's the last time we've seen Strowman?
It's been a while. Hopefully,
when he comes back, he's supposed to look
repackaged.
different.
Yeah, good. They should repackage him. Like he should just be the monster, and that's it. They flopped on that. But 1 minute left. Final thoughts on Sting finally having a match, February 27th. Do you think he will get hurt?
It's cinematic. They're probably the match is already done already.
That's true. Well, Taz is gonna be in it too, so give me 2 old men. And yeah.
And Taz ain't body slamming and flipping people like he used to.
No, that's what I mean. They're just gonna be throwing punches. And then Ricky Starks and Darby are just gonna do the crazy shit. Nice and simple. But yeah, Trace, take us out.
Shot Club Podcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. You never know when we going live. And we going live?
We can. Well, it has to be like a tight, like no more running long. Okay, and also stay tuned. Keep your eyes open because we will be doing a Marvel review show that we haven't named yet. So we'll figure that out too.
We still got to figure out somewhere where we all can be online and start talking with the audience. We got to figure that shit out.
Oh,
yeah.
I have an idea. Malcolm X pose.